Got baby trapped and now I'm scared. I, 25M, resent my son. TBH, I was still undecided if I ever wanted kids when I was with my ex, but I was leaning more on the side of not wanting them. Was always upfront with my ex about it. She said she feels the same, probably doesn't want any either. A year later all she was talking about was baby stuff. We'd be at Target and she's stopped to look at the infantile saying how cute the outfits look. Then she really started pushing it that we should think about having a baby together. I told her no cause I'm not sure. Well, 5 months later it happened. She confessed she stopped taking her BC because she really wanted a baby. Then when I started pushing her to find out what else she was lying about, she admitted to poking a few holes in some of the condoms I had in my room when she'd spend the night. Believe me, I fucking flipped on her. That was the end of our relationship and I still hate her for tricking me. The thing is, my family pushed me that I still needed to be involved because my son is innocent. As much as I hate my ex, I was there for all the ultrasounds, when my son was born, everything. I hate to admit this, but I still don't feel anything. The birth was scary AF. The first time I held my son I was freaking out. I didn't feel no warmth or like I became a father. The only thing that came to my head was this is for life now. He's almost 11 months old and still feel that way. I'm tired and frustrated all the time. He barely sleeps through the night, cries the second you put him down even if you've been holding him for an hour. Sometimes when I'm on my way home I stay parked in my car because I'm not ready to be home yet and deal with the chaos. I hate that I feel this way. I hate how tired I am all the time. I'm scared that I'm never going to love him or feel the way a dad should feel about their baby. Try to play with him, take him to the park, just me and him, put a fake smile when I'm playing with him and he's giggling, do our own stuff together to bond, but all I think about is I didn't want this, and it makes me feel like shit. I'm a fucking shitty dad and probably a psychopath, because what else kind of person doesn't feel love for their kid? I don't wanna hurt him or make him grow up feeling like his dad don't love him. Just want to be able to love my son and be the dad he deserves, since I know he didn't ask for this and he's just an innocent baby. I'd kiff this is really the best place to ask, but I'm willing to accept any advice if anyone has it. Edit to add, since I keep seeing people confused about the living situation. I do not live with her. So she stops taking birth control without your knowledge, pokes holes in condoms and gets to go on with her life without any consequences? Wow. That's a really shitty situation and your feelings are totally understandable. I realize you may feel like a bad dad, but you stepped up to be there for this child even though he was a product of lying and assault. Having your family push you to be involved weighs a lot, and I'm unfortunately not surprised that you're suffering after everything you've been through. I want you to know that you are not required to be involved at this level. You are allowed to step back and take a more hands-off role. Baby decision was made for you, but this is in your power, and it wouldn't make you a bad person or a bad parent. I just don't want to punish him by not being around, if that makes sense. I know in my mind it's not his fault and he didn't ask to be born. I feel like he deserves a dad who's there that loves him. Since he was born I was hoping that being involved and bonding with him I'd feel that something that a parent feels for their child. I haven't, and that's why I feel horrible. You were forced and tricked and manipulated. You are depressed from being tricked. These are negative emotions that are blocking you, making you feel numb. You should speak to a doctor or a therapist about your emotions. You are depressed from being tricked. I think he's also depressed about having a kid, period. And that's okay. Plenty of parents who actively try for children can end up feeling exactly as Op does. Empty, exhausted, waiting for the magic that everyone talks about to start. Children are hard, and the parent-child bond can be far more complicated than people are willing to admit. Edit, and, just so people won't think I'm overlooking this, victims of rape and sexual assault have so much more of a hurdle to overcome. Op was sexually assaulted, and he's blaming himself when all the blame for this situation falls squarely on his ex's shoulders. All of it. Bro, she raped you. Most people would have those feelings as well. I'm a fucking shitty dad. You aren't. You were forced, abusively, into a situation you had no control over. Being scared, confused, sad, and anxious is a completely understandable and normal reaction to something unexpected, violating, and traumatic. It sounds like you're actually a very good dad who's trying his best. You're putting in a lot of effort even though this is not something you were prepared for. Are you able to access counseling for yourself? Any new dad support groups or abuse survivors support groups? I'm so sorry you are going through this. I wish I knew of a specific sub on Reddit that helps specifically with reproductive coercion and related issues. Edit, I don't want to name your experiences for you, but many people would consider what you went through to be rape, myself included. I won't ask you to agree with that, but if you do, r/men get raped too might be a good space for you. I found this group once of new dads and became friends with one of the guys there who seemed really chill. When I opened up about this I was kinda rejected. Not that he called me an asshole or anything, but in the way he looked at me, and then after he was keeping distance. I don't chat with that group anymore. How to tell my mom her boyfriend asked me have his baby. I, 24F, live with my mom 47F, her boyfriend 54 meters, my sister and my son and roommate. All the adults pay rent, so I'm technically a tenant. Me and my mom's BF has a cool relationship. My mom is absolutely a narcissist, and the other day was a really bad day with her, so her BF came up to me and was like, wanna sneak out and go drink later? So I was like, yeah, absolutely. I've known him for 5 years and considered him like an uncle figure. We went out and drank and he kept pushing me to drink. When it comes to drinking I have a very weak stomach, so I can't drink much. 2 pina coladas and I'm drunk. So I'm our way back home. He has asked me, so you don't want any more kids? I'm a teen mom. I had my son at 15 and the pregnancy was absolute hell, so I've sworn off any more kids, and I told him no. Then he said, well, I want more kids, and started making advancements on me about me having his baby. Oh, you won't have to pay rent, you can follow your dreams and I'll take care of the baby, you won't have to buy anything for it, etc. etc. I kept telling him no and he wouldn't back off. He kept saying, we can go to a hotel right now, we can go in your room when I come back, and then he started touching me. Not like anywhere private, but he was squeezing my upper thigh and holding my hand. We left at 9 and came back around 12. When we got back I immediately went into my room and called my friend's husband. Our friend group isn't weird about that stuff. If we need something we can call the person's SO. My friend and her husband came to pick me up an hour away at 1:30 a.m. I was able to sneak out with my son and some clothes for a couple of days. When my mom called and asked where I was, I told her my friend had a family emergency and needed me. This happened Friday night going into Saturday. I'd if I was sexually assaulted or if he just crossed a boundary. I'm afraid to tell my mom 'cause I know she's gonna make it about her and probably not believe me. She has a history of always putting men before me and my sister. I don't want to go back, but I'd quit to go 'cause I don't have anywhere to go. I need help, please. How do I tell her? Edit. Hi all. I wanna thank everyone for the advice that was given. I've had a really hard past couple of days due to just being stuck and everyone helping me realize I was sexually assaulted. I've never been in this situation before, so it's been hard for me to cope. Addressing some comments. Our roommate isn't female. He does have children too, so I will be letting him know what happens. I haven't told my mom yet just 'cause I've come to the conclusion I already know how she's gonna act. She's gonna blame me and then get mad at her boyfriend for asking me instead of her. I haven't been back home yet. I'm still at my friend's house. My mom has caught on the fact that I'm avoiding her, but I really don't want to talk to her when he's around. I will be calling hotlines today and crisis centers asking for help. If I can get the help, I'm just gonna go home and pack my valuables. I cannot go back there. My little sister is a minor, she's 15, so I will be contacting CPS 'cause I know my mom won't let me take her. We've been taken out of her care multiple times due to her parenting style, so she has it out for someone trying to take away her kids. I want to address 2 comments that kinda bugged me. My relationship with my friends S/us are strictly friendships. I personally think that's good that we all have that trust. If you find it weird, I'd quote to say, I do not find my friend's s/os attractive. I did call my friend and text her first and she didn't answer, so that's when I called her husband. They've also let it be known that if I can't get a hold of one but I can get a hold of the other, just go ahead and call or text. The other comment was saying they were concerned my son has been living in this situation. My mom's BF has never done anything like this before. My mom has been iffy, bitchy, sometimes I will admit, but I have checked her. Cost of living in my state is extremely high, so it was cheaper to move in with them. But after this situation I've decided no matter what I will be living on my own. Edit 2, I told my mom and she believed me. Your sister is in danger. You are in danger if you go back. This man is bordering on not just assault but potentially showing he could rape you. If your mom does not take this seriously, tell CPS to protect your sister. ID she is a minor, and if not, talk to her and help her find a way out too. How old is your sister? Is she going to be safe? Tell your sister. Start making plans to find a new place together, even if it isn't as nice. How old is your sister? I'd warn her. If you don't think your mom will take it well, you should start arranging a place for you and your son to stay for now. I believe you do have to tell her though. That guy is a total creep and I wouldn't want to be anywhere near him. I would also ask the sister if she's had similar incidents with this creep. If your mum has a past history of not believing this kind of thing and creating drama/punishing you for it, then you really don't have to tell her. Or just tell her you're leaving immediately and she should ask her boyfriend why. Then maybe he'll get the flack/disbelief. Get yourself and your son out of there, though. It sounds like you have a good friend group you can ask for help short term. And if you were my friend, I'd absolutely want to help in this situation. There are formal resources too, including charities. What has happened here is that you've been made homeless as a result of escaping sexual assault. That's a real assessment of what's happened, not some technical definition. You do not feel safe living with someone who tried to get you drunk and sleep with you after you kept telling him no. And you shouldn't have to put your safety at risk by going back. There are resources to help. Try u/Ebby45's profile for a list of resources. My GF made me leave my shirt on, now I hate myself. TW, mental illness and eating disorder discussions. Okay, so some background. I'm 24M, and in early 2020 I got diagnosed with EDNOS, eating disorder not otherwise specified. At the time I was shocked because I very much didn't fit the stereotype I had in my head for an ED sufferer. I was going to the gym a lot and was pretty buff, and I was making sure to pick healthy foods and stuff. In hindsight it's kinda obvious though. I was going to the gym for 2-hour sessions twice a day 6 days a week, sometimes 3 times if I wasn't working, and had a debilitating obsession with tracking macros to make sure I was staying healthy, to the point where I would literally have full-blown panic attacks over eating too many carbs or too much fat. It was bad, and I've spent this past year doing my best to heal. I'm now down to 1 gym session 5 days a week, and I've deleted all of the food trackers from my phone. I'm far from fully recovered, but I'm getting there. My girlfriend, 28F, was always really into my buff body. It's what she liked most about me and what attracted her to me in the first place. She was initially incredibly supportive of my recovery, but now, it doesn't feel like she's anymore. I'm still pretty ripped. I really hate using these words, lol, it feels so cringe by most people's standards. Just a tiny bit squidgier than I was. But it seems to be enough squidge to have put her off me quite a bit. We've gone from having frequent sex, which she usually enthusiastically initiated, to nothing at all. She never wants to touch me anymore and tells me no thanks if I try to initiate anything. Also, and I'm just gonna say this frankly, sorry if it's crass or TMI, we have kind of a semi-open thing sexually, and part of that is she likes watching me get railed by other dudes, but she's also shot down any suggestions of that happening recently, even in a COVID-safe way. Beyond the sex, she also doesn't want to do stuff like shower together or go swimming or to the beach with me or anything, though she has done both of the latter with friends recently. A few nights ago, she surprised me by actually asking for sex, which of course I was excited about, but, She made me leave my shirt on while we did it. Like she physically moved my hands and stopped me when I went to take it off. I know this isn't a big deal for some folks, but she has never wanted me to leave my top on before, so it kinda felt out of left field. I didn't want to ruin things by asking why or anything, so I just left it, but it kinda put a dampener on the whole thing for me. I did bring it up lightly a day or so later and she just shrugged and said she liked me in that top. And to be clear, this was a kind of manky old Budweiser t-shirt with bleach stains that I wear just for kicking about the house and cleaning and stuff. It wasn't like a super sexy nice shirt or anything. Even with that explanation, this is plaguing me. I know my body has changed a little bit, but I felt good about it until now. Now I really feel like I'm headed back to square one with hating my body all over again. I even covered the bathroom mirror when I showered earlier so I didn't have to see myself naked. I just don't know what to do. I don't want to be sick anymore, but I don't want to lose my girlfriend either, which I know is inevitable if she doesn't find me attractive anymore. I'm scared that if I just ask her outright about it, she might get upset and I don't want to hurt her. Is there maybe some way that I can do both? Like maybe something I can do to look less doughy without falling back to bad habits? Edit, just to clarify some things coming up a lot. 1. The open/getting railed thing is something I'm into as well. I don't just do it for her benefit. Trust me, if I didn't like it I wouldn't do it. Also, for the couple of folks for whom this is a new concept, it's called bisexuality. It's great fun. 2. Some folks seem to think this is a very new relationship, so I'll also throw in that we've been together almost 5 years and this is our first real hurdle.